Let me begin with you, Honorable. The dust, like our correspondent said, has settled despite the consultations, the horse trading, and all of it. Give us the behind-the-scene account of what happened yesterday, because a lot of persons did not expect that the process would go as smooth as it did.
Well, only those that did not follow the campaign will be surprised at what happened yesterday. I was here a couple of times and I gave updates what was going on. I talked about consultations. I talked about meeting stakeholders, meeting state caucuses, zonal caucuses, meeting state governors, meeting party leaders to sell our message, to sell our candidates, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, the Speaker, and Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the now Deputy Speaker. And leading to the election yesterday, we had different caucuses endorsing Honorable Abbas. I remember 2 days before I think, was it a day before yesterday? The South caucus, 55 members, 100% of them, all of them endorsed Tajuddin Abbas. Southwest caucus, about 71 of us, about 69 of us endorsed Tajuddin Abbas. So it was a landslide leading to the election. It wasn't a surprise. We ran the campaign, it was an open book. So what happened was something anyone could have seen if you're a student of Nigeria's politics and Nigeria's parliament.
All right, let me come to you, Jide. A lot of persons were actually expecting a lot of fireworks, especially when some persons decided they were going to contest until the last day. As much as the party was saying, let us toe the line, in fact, within the party, they expected there has to be like a kind of a consensus going into the day yesterday. But some persons decided, no, I have the right to contest, I have an interest, and so on. Some persons were expecting some fireworks, but we saw the landslide, like Honorable Alabi has said. What do you think was responsible for that seamlessness? And everything moved on so peacefully. There was no rancor, there was no controversies, there were no confrontations. It just went so smooth. What do you think was responsible for all of that?
We talk about proactivity. You saw a lot of consultations that went on, like the Honorable said, and learning from the past. You recall that in 2015, how Saraki emerged was a deep shock to the APC. And a wise man said, if you don't learn from your setbacks, you will always be set back. So this time around, enough groundworks were done to ensure that you harmonize interest. You know, I have looked at Nigeria. We may be differentiated by the caps we wear, but the needs of the nation are the same. And if you keenly look at what has happened in the most recent time, the geopolitical zones appear to be well represented in how you balance the power structure. You know, and that was what the Vice President, Shetima, was making reference to, because he brought in the angle of religion. Yes. So you saw APC this time around showing class. And for those who did not step down, some did. I commend them. Democracy is about participation. You know, participatory democracy is crucial. And to let those who won know it's not for fun. And of course, it's their fundamental right to get involved in the contest. But here we are now. The leadership has been established. And what we should be talking about really is how do we now benefit from this leadership and focus on the mandate of having the National Assembly. You know, if you look at Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it says that National Assembly shall make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of Nigeria. So we have lawmaking, we have oversight functions, we have control of our funds, you know, appropriation, and ensuring that the laws that we have in place are implemented. And they'll be working through committees and ensure that we have an enhanced quality of life for the citizens and make Nigeria prosperous. And I think now that they are still busy celebrating the victories, they should look ahead and learn a huge lesson that this is the 10th National Assembly, and Akpabio has described it as unusual. So we really want it to be unusual by escalating the benefits to the people.
Right. All right, let's bring it back to you now, Honorable Alabi. You've heard our guest in the studio talking about how the Senate President has said it's an unusual assembly and Nigerians are looking forward to that unusualness. They have also gone ahead to talk about addressing matters of economy and security. And we hear Honorable Tajuddin Abbas saying that in the coming weeks that the legislative agenda will be put forward on how to move on the National Assembly. Give us a sense of what Nigerians should look forward to with this current National Assembly.
The elections have come and gone. We've had our inauguration, but there's still a lot of housekeeping to do. There's a lot of work to be done in-house. For example, we had a presiding officers elections. There's still going to be the appointments of the principal officers, the house leaders, and the minority parties, and we expect all the parties to be heavily involved. The APC to provide the majority leader and whips, and the other parties combined to come up with the minority leaders and minority whips. So that's got to be done. That's got to be done. Then after that, we're going to have the committees, because like the other guest said, he said it rightly that we're going to work through various committees because the speaker is only one person. We're going to work through various committees, and that will be constituted as well. We are going to adjourn for a couple of weeks. That's the tradition after the first week of inauguration. That's, I think, on Thursday. So a lot of housekeeping is going to be done. But we can see from the executive arm of government that we've already hit the ground running with this administration. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, has made some giant strides that even his ardent critics are saying, wow, we never knew Asiwaju was this fantastic. I wonder if you followed Asiwaju, definitely you know that he's a fantastic administrator. Then we're going to follow suit. We're ready to cooperate with him. We know that the Night Assembly was a very, very productive assembly. Landslide, watershed legislations like the KAMA Act, like the Electoral Act, which we still have to improve, actually. A lot of constitutional amendments, moving a lot of items from the executive list to exclusive list to the concurrent list. A lot of things were done in the National Assembly, even though we've been unfairly judged by the public, which I think is a bit of our fault because we didn't really project.
How do you mean you were unfairly judged? How do you mean you were unfairly judged? You need to expatiate on that, because if the Night Assembly did something exceptional, Nigerians will judge them accordingly, don't you think?
I think maybe we should do better with our own communication and with our own, should I say, PR? I can find a better term to use. Because as I was saying, we passed some acts that have laid dormant in Parliament for decades, and Night Assembly is known for what we've been able to do with it from PIB to PIA.
Give us insight into what those bills were. Give us an insight into what those bills that you said were passed are.
For example, the KAMA Act, for example, makes it that you don't have to pay company income tax if your profits are not much. If your profits are less than 25 million, there are different bands, 25 million up to 100 million. If you're not making that much money, you're not going to pay company income tax. And that's a good one for small business owners who are always afraid of all these different taxes. They don't even know how they're going to, how much they're supposed to pay and all that. You don't get to pay so income tax on your business. That's just an example of the KAMA Act that we're able to pass. So I was talking about the constitutional amendment, moving electricity distribution from exclusive list. In the Constitution, we have the exclusive list, we have the concurrent list. Exclusively, for those that don't know, the exclusive list is what only the federal government can do, and concurrent is what both the federal government and states can do. And we have too many things on the exclusive list, which is hindering the progress of the country. And we've been able to move a lot of things from the exclusive list to concurrent list. I would like to see more, for example, police. I would like to move from exclusive to concurrent. Yeah, but we still—that's what the 10th Assembly should do now. We're going to consolidate on the gains of the 9th Assembly. So if the 9th Assembly were able to do 70%, we want to do 90%. We want to make the 10th Assembly the best ever.